These are not personal monies, these are public money. Money that belongs to the people of Papua New Guinea. I have received a copy of the IFMS records from Finance, which say that over the last 30 months, this program has spent $1.933364 billion kina, sorry, Mr. Speaker. Almost 2 billion kina has been spent so far. I have a list of checks here, check numbers, contract numbers, vouchers that has been paid to different companies under this program, Mr. Speaker. So today I want to seek leave of Parliament to present some documents that I've received from a whistleblower, a very brave public servant, who is giving me these documents that proves that there is what I've said is correct. So if that is okay, I will table it for the interest of public, and the Minister can take note of it and answer it while I will add my questions onto the questions that were asked by the Minister.
Honourable Member for Yalupangia, we have a point of order. Governor for Hela, what's your point of order?
What we have been learning from his own press statement was 8 months payment of 3.7 billion kina to a company and 1.7 billion kina to another company. Now he is saying 30 months, which is almost 3 years. He already mentioned 30 days.
Order.
30 days
Order.
From 8 months. Stop mixing up.
Order.
That's my point of order.
Order. Honourable Member for Hela, your point of order, I will rule your point of order out of order.
My good governor should just be patient, and I will get to it.
Yeah.
Point of orders were not there, I would be already over with the questions.
Ask your question.
But Mr. Speaker, let me say this. They need accountability and transparency. When, of course, governments make decisions and carry out these programs, Mr. Speaker, 1.9 billion kina has been spent on a program, as I said, is worth billions of kina, including contracts that are awarded up to 3.45 million kina. Contracts already awarded. And these are ongoing programs, and we will be very interested to know the Minister's statement must include the list of contracts that he has awarded.
I want to clear the point that the good member for Yalibupanga said that the minister gave out the contracts. The contracts actually are given out by National Procurement Commission, not the minister.
All right. Honourable Minister, I will rule your point of order also out of order. I will ask the member to complete his question, and the minister can respond in the way that you have raised through the minister. Honourable Member for Yalupangia.
Mr. Speaker, I think he knows exactly what I mean. The minister has been seen publicly, photographed and videoed, handing out checks to contractors directly. For the first time, a minister of state doing this in this country. This is not a simple matter. Mr. Speaker, there are few contracts that are glaring, Mr. Speaker. Glaring because it has been given to associates of the Prime Minister and, of course, and your associates, Mr. Minister. Can you clearly define how much money has been paid, as I've tabled some of the documents already, but to Ipuen's Constructions? How much money has been paid to Tari Pori Development Corporation? How much money has it been paid to Oceanic Constructions?
Honourable Member for Yalipupangia, we have another point of order. Honourable Minister.
My point is very clear. Rule 145 of standing orders. He can't mention names when he's putting questions on the floor of Parliament. Rule 141 is very clear. He's mentioning names of companies. He can't do that. He should ask only questions. He shouldn't debate the issues. Ask questions, and the minister responsible will answer those questions.
Honorable Member for Yalibu Pangia, resume your seat. I'll make a ruling on the Minister's point of order. Then I will ask you to continue on your question. Honorable Minister, your point of order is in order. I will ask the member for Yalibu Pangia.
Point of order. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Your ruling is out of order.
Honorable Member, Honorable Governor for ACP. We have a point of order, and I haven't complete my ruling on the point of order. I am in the ruling in favor of what the Honorable Minister have raised on the point of order. Then I will ask the Honorable Member for Yalibu Pangia to rephrase his question as he continues.
Can I correct the point of order?
The standing order says persons, not companies.
That's right.
So the good member is misleading you and the House.
That's right.
It says persons.
Doesn't say entity.
Read it.
It's in the standing order.
It's in the standing orders. The standing order says persons. It doesn't say companies.
Honorable Minister, but I'll make a ruling. I'll make a ruling on this.
It's in the standing order.
Credibility of the company. We should be talking about earnings and all these ones.
We are refusing to lie in the penal marketplace.
So,
Shame.
And cases defined as companies in the Companies Act, we could take this debate in
honorable members, the chair has made a ruling. So is the interpretation of what the standing order have said, as the company mentioned his name as a person. So I made a ruling, and that ruling will stand. Honorable member for Silsina Yangumul, I'll make a ruling now on the question that is raised by the honorable member for Yalibu Pangia. Honorable members, I've allowed the honorable member for Yalibu Pangia to raise this question as a supplementary question. Now I've come to realize that this question becomes a new question directed to a different person on the floor, which the question raised yesterday was directed to the Prime Minister. So that the supplementary question should be directed to the Prime Minister and not to the Minister for Works. Therefore, honorable member for Yalibu Pangia, I will rule out your question, and you can reserve your question. I will give you opportunity again to raise your question, but your question must be directed to the Prime Minister and not to the Minister for Works. Honorable member, I acknowledge your question. I will still give you an opportunity for you to ask your question, but I will ask you in the next question when you rise to ask that question, that supplementary question, to the Prime Minister. Honorable members, honorable Prime Minister, I'll make a ruling from now. I'll take from you. Honorable members, since you have already had the floor, I will now ask you to direct that question to the Prime Minister and not to the Minister, as we corrected.
I have no problem directing the question to the Prime Minister, but Mr. Speaker, the question by the Governor yesterday, if you go and check the answer, it was directed to the Minister. That is why it's a supplementary question, but I'm quite happy to ask the Prime Minister. Prime Minister has already taken note of what I've said, so I'll just continue if that's okay with the Chair. And
I will allow you to continue.
And if the Minister wants to answer or the Prime Minister wants to answer, it doesn't matter. You are the Solemurai. You sit down, Isi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this company ePoint is owned and controlled by an associate of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister can either confirm or deny that. But we ask that they table all the contract documents and the amounts of money that has been paid to this particular company. That company includes ePoint and Taripori Development Corporation, Oceanic, and Clean Green Energy, Mr. Speaker. Why I ask these questions are that because we believe that some of the procurement processes have been abused. Many of the contracts that are issued are deliberately under 10 million kina and paid on many occasions below that amount to avoid tender processing and the procurement requirements by the NPC law. So we need visibility on that, Mr. Speaker, and the Prime Minister needs to disclose his relationship with the owners of the company and what is his role in those companies, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Works is a company that has got contracts from this particular program called Tumla Construction, owned by a staff, his former staff, Mr. Speaker. Again, it has received tens of millions of kina. I'm quite happy to name the name, but out of respect for the gentleman, I am not. But, Mr. Speaker, the company is called Tumla Construction. Now, those contracts, again, are issued below 10 million kina deliberately to avoid procurement process. Mr. Speaker, we've also received that there was 18 soldiers out of this program, 18 soldiers received 191,000 kina, 613 toya per person per soldier. What are these payments for? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, there's been IACAS, many IACAS, but one in particular has been receiving 101,000 kina per month. Again, I asked the Minister, what is this for? Mr. Speaker, this is Connect PNG program. Why are we spending 785,209 kina to planting flowers at your head office? Planting flowers at your head office, Mr. Speaker. The other question, Mr. Speaker, is that a Medivac was paid to Pacific International Hospital for 220,700 kina. For yourself, Minister. Is that for yourself to Gold Coast or to Australia? How does that connect to Connect PNG program? Mr. Speaker. Further, Mr. Speaker, there's 170,000 kina paid to a school fee in United Kingdom for an individual. How does that connect to Connect PNG program, Mr. Speaker? And lastly, Mr. Speaker, 152,800 kina was paid to Sunday Bulletin. What is that for? How does that connect to Connect PNG program? Mr. Speaker, why we are asking that question is that the program itself is good, except that money is being spent on things that we don't know about. Mr. Speaker, there is abuse of trust and confidence of the people of this country. Mr. Speaker, I simply ask the Minister to answer these questions.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister or the Minister to answer these questions truthfully and factually with the records that they have, Mr. Speaker. Not just shallow answers that will just water down this particular issue. This is a very big issue, 1.9 billion plus kina has been already spent. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Acting Speaker, hama mastro, kami talk pisin, agora papuni kini haram. Long, nababla yellow pangia am talk, like we must talk, true pla talk. True pla talk na. We have must some upside. Some leader before sa talk, gaman, now stop on them left side.
Answer the question.
Mr. Acting Speaker, number one, true pla talk, to Connect PNG, important program, up. The country, me one bello display. Because for so long we have left many of our remote parts of our country unconnected. When I talk about remote part of the country, I mean Teleforming, not because the Minister of Works is from Teleforming, but they've been out of link with our country for so long. I mean places like Kaboom, Myanmar. There was a time in 2020, Governor Havata, I asked Governor Havata, then Minister for Works, and Secretary for Works. By the way, Secretary for Works, who is continuing in this department, was an appointee under the O'Neill administration.
Prime Minister, we have a point of order. Governor for ECP.
Specific in relation to payments. We've already acknowledged that the Connect PNG is a good program. That's a given. He doesn't need to make a speech. He just simply needs to respond to the question.
Honorable Governor, your point of order is in order. The Prime Minister is starting to get to what he's trying to respond, so we'll allow for him to continue from the...
Mr. Acting Speaker, I'm really happy that my brother, the Governor of ECP, is super excited on the other side. Yes. And that's part of the job. That's part of the job. We have to get used to it. But I'm coming around to getting to a serious question that the member for Yalupangi has asked. Deserves a fair, correct, and serious reply. It is our assessment that a program that is meant to unbundle rural PNG as well as modernizing urban PNG is being abused by a department that is meant to deliver this. There's an assessment on the floor of this House that Works Department is not working very well. And Works Department is served by a longest-serving secretary of this department that the former administration appointed, has run the system for so long. We came in like a good government. We maintained the department head to remain and run. By the way, the department head is from his own electorate.
We have a point of order, Prime Minister.
The good Prime Minister get to the question, answer the questions. That's all, in the interest of time.
Honorable Member, I allow the Prime Minister to get to the response to the question. Prime Minister.
And so I just want to rephrase that since we took office, we have retired over 2 billion kina worth of outstanding contracts the former government never paid off. That includes Lay Road, Lay City, the 4-way lane, Lay City to 9 Mile, and we are continuing to Yellow Bridge, and we are continuing now to Najap. Talk about Connect PNG, that's Connect PNG. It's not only the roads that are 4 or 5 contractors the opposition leader conveniently uplifted for the convenience of this occasion. And I want to Mr. Speaker, also this House.
Point of order, member for Yalibupangia.
I think the Prime Minister is just misleading by making statements that are not relevant to the questions that I asked. I have asked about questions that companies have got an association with him. He has to disclose whether he has got an association, he's declared those interests or not. There's nothing wrong with those companies working and applying and getting contracts. But there are processes that are established that needs to be respected and implemented. Those are questions we are asking. Not about roads and secretaries and all these things. You're just running around just trying to avoid the issue. This is public money. It's not your private money. You don't pay for your medical evacuations of your ministers out of this kind of program.
Honorable Member.
It's a statement under the pretext of a point of order. And so you need to make your assessment in this House. Point of orders are point of orders, not statement that camouflages under the pretext of point of orders. I think the Honourable Member for Hiri, point of order was in order, but the Member for Yalupangia, point of order is completely out of order.
Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Prime Minister, you resume your seat. Honourable Prime Minister, you resume your seat. Order. Honourable Prime Minister, allow the chair to make a ruling on the point of order. And The honourable member for Yalibu Pangia, your point of order. Honourable members, don't put words in the mouth of the speaker. Let the speaker make a ruling. Your point of order is like a statement you're trying to make, which I will rule your point of order in order, and I will ask the Prime Minister. We have a short time of question. I think you get to the point of what you can reply straight to him, and we'll get to the point.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyway, Mr. Speaker, if you all care to give attention to the Minister for Works, he will make a detailed statement on this later on. We're not here to cover impropriety or illegal transactions. The Finance Minister has asked for independent audit firm to look into Works Department. James Marape, by the way, don't own Ipwens Construction, don't own Taripori Development Corporation, don't own Oceanic, don't own CPEC, don't own whatever companies you name. There are 300 plus contractors engaged in Connect PNG program all over this country. All over this country. I don't own even Wildcat. Wildcat, a contractor. Wildcat, a contractor that was tasked to do a contract in West New Britain, never did. Mr. Former Prime Minister refinanced it and packed it to another Chinese to do that. Wildcat. Check who owns Wildcat.
Honourable Deputy Opposition Leader, we have a first point of order from the member for Yalibu Pangia. So, member for Yalibu Pangia, I think your point of order can put us in order. Don't make a statement, please.
A statement. I'm not making a statement, but I'm explaining the incorrect statement that the Prime Minister is making, whereby he is saying that Wildcat. I used to be a shareholder of that. I have declared that.
I
have declared it.
Honourable member for Yalibu Pangia. Order. Honourable member, I will.
Is using to get large.
Honourable member, the speaker wants to talk. Can you listen to the speaker? If honourable member, seems that you are not listening to the speaker, I will rule your point of order out of order. I'll let the Prime Minister to finish. Honourable Minister, what's your point of order again?
Last time,
Honourable member, you can't ask the chair to do the ruling on that. You can't. I'll rule your point of order out of order. And from the chair, I ask you not to raise such point of order again to the chair. Honourable Prime Minister.
Right, Mr. Speaker, I do apologize for holding up the Parliament's time and getting on with this, what seems like a nonsense, but it's a serious matter. The Finance Minister has called for independent audit firm to look into what's happening in the Works Department. We are not here to allow for impropriety or breaking of the due process for procurement. If anyone is found to have offended the law, the process will take its course. I welcome the member for Yalibu Pangia. We set up ICAC. ICAC is run by overseas commissioners. Present the reports to ICAC. Present the reports to police. Present the report to Ombudsman. All our leaders' declarations is before Ombudsman. Present them. I never sat in cabinet giving contract to a company that is owned by myself. We have a new process in cabinet. There's a process of voting under my leadership in cabinet. We don't unilaterally disclose or declare what is happening, and we sit and preside over the matter. Former minister who served in my cabinet knows very well that there is a provision of declaration of interest inserted into my cabinet. We have elevated the level of transparency in my cabinet than the cabinet I set under his watch, Mr. Speaker. We now take a vote on every decision. Yes, we do. We take a vote on every decision. It's not unilaterally pushed down by the Prime Minister, like former Prime Ministers do. Mr. Speaker, we're tidying up the mess we've inherited. Connect PNG is linking all parts of our country. Put to the table all the contractors. I've asked the Work Secretary, put to the table all contractors doing work in all parts of our country, their payment history. This is a 5-year program we're running that embraces a 7 billion kina stage 1 weather program for the entire country. Not just tari contractors or many contractors or telephone contractors, Mr. Speaker. I ask you all to pay Words to the opposition leaders, I beg your pardon, the Works Minister's statement. He will present his statement. We will get an inquiry into this one. The country has been asking for the opposition. They're entitled to ask as the alternate government. We'll get a full look into what is happening. And I can assure this House, James Marape has no shareholding association with the companies that has been mentioned. This is matters brought up right in the face of vote of no confidence to discredit the captain of government on this side. Captain of government on this side. You had total liberty as you accused these companies today. You said one company picked up 3 billion kina. That's a record of one company picking up 3 billion kina under the letterhead of PNC's own PNC leader's own statement. It is on record. It is out there. My friend, it's contested. It is contested. You know these companies? Under your words, you gave contract. One of them did your Yalibu Pange road that is sealing, that is withstanding seal road for the last 15 years.
In the brewery?
James Marape do not own a company when I've been member since 2007 up till today. Mr. Deputy Speaker, that is a record. I've seen former prime ministers owning companies and doing business whilst in office. I'm a public servant prime minister. I'm here to do my job. These accusations, Works Minister is asked to offer a full reply.
Point of order, Governor.
There is no law that says a member of parliament or even the prime minister cannot own a business. But the rules say that you should declare your interest. So I just want to take away the innuendo that it's a sin to own a business, because that's what the prime minister is insinuating. So if you could just make that clarification.
Honorable Governor, your point of order is in order. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I did not say a prime minister should not be doing business. All I said was there are two divides. A public service-oriented prime minister like me and a business-oriented prime minister so past. Some were, some weren't. Clear difference. You have a choice. Some have interest in business, wholesaling business, they hold office of prime minister. Good. I'm not saying they did anything wrong. But some of us choose to remain a public service-oriented prime minister. And so I will assure this House that companies that the member for Yalibu Pange have mentioned has no shareholding interest by James Marape. And I pay special mention to Tari Pori Development Corporation. It's a council company, 51% owned by my councillors, 49% owned by 200 small shareholders of Tari district. They are doing work only in Tari district. Hence up a PNG company who can go and work in Tari district. Ask this honest question. Can you go and work in Tari district? And so let's ask this question in the context of distribution of work that is happening. Some of these contractors operate in far remote corners of this country where former governments giving contracts valued hundreds of millions in city. These city contractors cannot go and work in the remote areas. Let's speak in the context of what is happening. The Works Minister will deliver his statement. You will see the scope of contract, value of contract, stage 1 of unbundling the rest of the country, stage 2, stage 3. This is a program we intend to make and transform our country. If there is any act of impropriety in the Works Department, they will pay the due price. You have seen us terminating secretaries, suspending secretaries. We don't owe it to anyone. The inquiry or the investigation that will be happening at Works Department will ascertain all the allegations that is taking place. And I want to assure this House we're in the business of doing it correct for our people. Thank you.